So thank you for joining. So let's get started. These things usually take just about half an hour or so, probably less, depending on the questions. So let's see here. So today's topic is why you can't afford not to work with an academic excellence coach. So the reason why I created this topic is because it's very important, in my opinion, for a lot of families who are struggling or their kids are struggling at school. Okay. And the main thing is that most families and most parents, they're not aware that academic excellence coaching exists. And, they are in schools, they have these things called academic coaches and stuff like that. So they kind of use the same name, but what I do is very different. What I do is I use an amalgamation of like personal development, psychology, coaching methodologies, personal experience, storytelling. And basically what I really try to do is I don't really focus so much on the actual course itself. I'm focused more on building the student or the human behind it. And we focus a lot on helping the student just become a better human being. And as a result of that, we get them to kind of transform themselves. And then when that happens, then they're able to perform better in every single class that they take. Now, this is a very innovative and new approach. It's actually not taught in schools. In fact, it's a very alarming stat is that I'd say over 95% of students, whether they're in high school or university, they've actually never been shown how to learn effectively. And the reason I say this is because when I was a instructor, and I've been teaching at different universities, I always get my students to raise their hands, and I'm like, okay, how many of you have been taught how to learn? And I'm lucky if maybe 2 or 3 hands go up in a classroom of about 50 or 60 people. Okay. So it just shows that a lot of students don't know how to learn. And as a result, I'm getting quite busy helping students actually learn how to learn, but not just how to learn, but also how to develop success skills, how to improve their thinking skills, how to improve their time management, how to improve their productivity, how to problem solve. And this is all part of the coaching experience, because we don't want somebody to get coached and then come back to me. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for, I mean, sometimes they come back because they have new challenges and stuff like that. But the main essence of being an academic excellence coach is you want to teach them how to learn, you want to help students how to learn effectively. So then they don't need me, and then they can just kill it at school for as many courses that they take. But more importantly, what I've also realized that the same principles in terms of learning, in terms of improvement, in terms of personal development and growth, they also will help students even beyond their graduation. Okay, so even beyond work. So this is very important. Okay, and the stuff that is being shown is very new and very innovative. Like I said, it's not taught in schools today. So, which is unfortunate because, like I said, you're in school for 12 years of your life minimum, and you're never shown any of this stuff. The success rate is excellent. And the reason why it's excellent is because we deal with only specific types of students that we know that we can help. Okay, we're not going to waste your time if we can't help you. And I'll tell you right now, the kind of students that we work with. We work with the kind of student who's motivated, who's driven, and who's committed to wanting to improve who they are, improve themselves. And as a result, what happens is they start to implement the strategies and the habits and the techniques and the new ways of thinking that we show them. And the one thing that they take into every single course that they take is themselves and their mind. So once we upgrade their mind, they naturally perform better in all their classes. Okay, so that's why the success rate is excellent. And what's very important is we deal with mindset. Now, this is critical. Okay, so we give students strategies and techniques and all that stuff, but strategies and techniques are like giving somebody a good map to get to where they want to go. Okay, it's like saying, here's a great map and just follow this map and you'll get there. But the problem is that if you have a map, and let's say you're in a car, but your engine is broken, you can't get to your destination even if you have a map. Okay, so your engine or your mindset is like the engine of a car. Okay, it's like the root of probably 90% of the challenges you're facing. And once you fix that mindset, once you fix the way you think and your belief systems, what ends up happening is that you end up being able to succeed even if you don't have a great map in front of you. So just take, for example, you have the engine of a Ferrari. Okay, so you're driving a Ferrari. Now, if you take the long route, it's actually fun because you get to actually spend more time in the Ferrari and you get to drive more. Okay. And deep down, it's not a big deal if you don't get there right away because it's a good experience. So that's kind of how we kind of teach our students. We obviously want to get them to where they want to go quickly and to where they'll benefit. But the whole process of having a good mindset makes the whole journey much more enjoyable. And they end up being more confident, they feel more fulfilled, they're happier. And as a result, their mental health improves and their grades go up. In fact, they skyrocket. And again, the reason is because we're dealing with the root of the problem. Okay. And again, it's the engine of the car and it's the results that we get when we have a good engine. Okay. So very important to understand that you cannot succeed without using the mind. You cannot succeed without using the mind. If you are just doing a whole bunch of stuff and you're just working hard, but you don't have the right thinking behind it, it's not going to be very helpful. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to understand that transformation, and what I mean by transformation is significantly better results as well as an improvement in who you are can only happen when you play with the mind and you improve the mind. Okay, so that's really what this company is all about, the art of being smart. And if you just use better strategies and you just work hard, you're still not, like, you might get a little bit closer to your destination, but you're not going to be able to sustain it because the thinking behind it has not been improved. Okay, so this is why a lot of times people who have never been good with money and they win the lottery, they end up losing it all because the thinking of how to use the money, how to invest it, how to make it work for you has not been implemented. So what they end up doing is they end up making mistakes with their money and it just blows. They just blow it away. Okay, so that's why it's important to understand that the thinking is more important than the actual strategies. And if you have the right thinking and the right mindset, you don't actually need to you don't need to worry about winning the lottery. You can actually make your own income and figure out how to make as much money as you want when you have the right thought process. Okay. Same thing with a student. Once you understand how your mind works, you can perform better in any class that you take. Okay. So better strategies and hard work is not the solution. They're necessary sometimes, but not always. Okay. So why is it important why is it that you cannot afford to not work with an academic excellence coach? Well, the first reason is that when you work, and I'm only speaking with my company, The Art of Being Smart, but when you're working with us, and I'm about to sneeze here. Oh, you can you can practice presentations as much as you want, and you can go through all these presentations as many times, but you can never prepare for when you're about to sneeze. So hopefully I don't sneeze here, but I'm going to try. I'm trying to make it through here. But anyhow, one of the things that I can talk about with respect to my company is that we give unbelievable help and support, and I really mean unbelievable. So the first thing is you need to understand is that we work with students in terms of their needs and their challenges. So that's the difference between a student going to class and working with a coach. Okay, well, there's a lot of differences, but one of the main things is that when the students go to class, they're there to learn stuff. And what we do is actually teach them to unlearn stuff. So we're actually there to help them perform better by unlearning all the damaging strategies and beliefs and habits that they've accumulated, which just don't work. And so we're really focused on the needs and the challenges of the students and not our own needs. Okay, that's very important. That's the coaching philosophy. And the goal really is to transform the student so that they can become a better individual and then they can perform better in school. Whereas if you go and see a tutor or if you go and see a teacher, they're just going to reteach the course to you. But that's not sustainable because there's always going to be a new course. Whereas if you improve who you are and you transform yourself, then all the courses become more achievable. You can do much better. Okay. So think of it like having a BFF with knowledge and experience that could totally help you. So that's really what a coach is, right? It's like your BFF who can actually help you and help you like get to where you want to go. And for me personally, when I coach, I probably get more pleasure when my students do better in school than they do. Okay. And the reason is because I know how much they're relying on me, and I know how much they're trusting me and how much faith they have in me. And when they succeed, it's like, oh, it's like I succeed with them. Okay. So it's like two BFFs kind of working together. Okay. And really, that's the best way for me to describe it. And, I do a lot of research and I do a lot of work in this area. And one thing I've realized that it's impossible to do things alone. And what I mean by this is that, if you really want to be happy and successful, it's very hard to get out of your own mind sometimes. So trying to do things alone is really not the most effective way to get there. So you really want somebody else to help you and actually help, mentor you and stuff. And that's why all the best athletes in the world have coaches. Why? Because they know they cannot do it alone. Okay. Look at all the best teams in the world. Like, I just watched the World Cup. Messi is the best player in the world, right? But he couldn't do it alone. So you need to understand that if you want to be successful, don't try to do it alone. Okay. That's why we have coaches and mentors. And these are all in play to help students be more successful. Okay. And the reason why we have unbelievable support is because we do something probably I don't think any school does this, but we have our environment, we have our coaching environment. So we have you go into a group of other motivated students, and you're in a very high performing work or study environment, learning environment, or coaching environment. I think coaching environment is the right term. And what happens is when you're in like high performing coaching environment, you start to experience the mindsets of all these high performing students. And as a result of that, you actually become your environment. So I will not accept students who are, not prepared to do their work. They're lazy. They're not going to do their homework. In fact, I've asked some of them to leave. And the reason for that is because the environment is key. And the reason for that is because if you are in the wrong environment, you end up not performing well. Okay. So this is why, even in a relationship, in a marriage, if your environment, if your partner and you don't jive, it becomes very difficult for you to be successful because you're just burning energy on trying to just sustain that relationship. Instead, what you want to do is you want that relationship to thrive. Okay. And so my whole life, actually, I shouldn't say my whole life, but when I was younger, I never really paid attention to the people I hung out with. It was really more about me hanging around as many people as I could. And if I did, then I would be cool and I'd feel better. But as I get older, I realize I got to be very particular who I hang out with. And the reason for that is because the wrong person can seriously make your life more stressful and more difficult and more challenging. Okay. And that causes resistance. When you have more resistance in your life, it becomes very hard to succeed. On the other hand, if you have somebody who is 100% with you, supporting you, encouraging you, motivating you, it's like you have an elevator to the top floor without even walking. Okay. And you can just get there. And I have no idea how I came up with this analogy, but it just came into my head. Okay. So you need that person who wants you to be happy and successful, and both of you can help yourself to get there. Okay. And then sometimes we go through concepts, and sometimes we go through situations which you may need more clarification on. So then you also have the ability to book one-on-one sessions with me. And that is really good because that way you get more, I guess, one-on-one time and clarification if you need to. Then if you have a question, you can also email me. Some students, they text me, but I always keep replays of all our sessions. And the reason for this is because you can always go back and you can always rewatch concepts all over again. Okay. So the type of support we give our students, honestly, is through the roof. And I'm always looking for new ways to support students, always looking for new ways. So these are the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways of supporting students. And we're looking for more because we know that they cannot do it alone. And parents have their best wishes in mind for their kids, but the parents are very busy with work. They have other commitments. Teachers are bombarded with tons of students. They have a lot of other things they have to take care of. they have admin work to do, they have, politics because they work at a company. So they don't have all the resources available to help these students, whereas I do, because I only work with certain types of students. And I only work with a few of them at a time. Okay, so just wanted to share that with you. We use a proven system that works. And honestly, I can tell you that if you have a proven system, everything gets better. Okay, because a lot of students are just figuring things out through trial and error. And also, I've realized I didn't change the picture. So I think the picture applies, but I just realized I didn't change it. And hopefully I changed the other one, but I'm not too sure. Anyhow, the point is that this is a proven system because the same system that I teach my students actually helped me go from a 1.8 GPA to a 4.0 GPA, to get 3 degrees as well, to write a book, and to actually teach this at various universities. And my students have consistently done well. And I've probably taught this to over 6,000 students, and there's over 90% success rate. Okay. And when I talk about success rate, I'm talking about the fact that their grades improve, time management improves, exam writing improves, procrastination goes down, motivation and mental health also improve. Okay. And they have more clarity and more direction in terms of where they want to go in life. Okay. So this is kind of what I'm referring to. Using a proven system helps you save months and years of failure and trial and tribulation and turmoil and sleepless nights and crying yourself to sleep. It resolves all that stuff. Okay. And it gives you results a lot faster. Okay. Now imagine if, like, just idea came to mind right now, like we all are in cars and we're driving. Okay. But imagine every time you had to go somewhere, you had to reinvent the wheel. How would you get to where you want to go? The fact that somebody invented the wheel now makes your life 150 times easier. Okay. It's the same thing. We've got a system that works, and the system will make your life so much easier, and you won't have to be as stressed out to get to where you want to go. And to be honest with you, I've tested it. I've made sure that I've tested it, I've refined it, I've made sure that it works. We use it on different students, and they're consistently doing better. Okay. And I have reviews from a lot of students, which I should actually put up more of, but I get emails, I get testimonials on a regular basis telling me that their grades go up. And it's not because we're doing anything different. We're just using a system that does work. And the system is not available really in any school that I've seen. Okay. And you'll save money. You'll save your energy, you'll save your frustration as well. And also, if you have not seen my TED Talk, I actually describe the system that we use. So you can actually see the system that we use. All you got to do is just type in my name, Aleem Nasser, and go to TEDx, and you'll see the system that I use, and I call it the equation for success. Okay. So that system has actually helped, a crazy number of students to be able to do well. Okay. Again, same picture. I forgot to change it. Working with an academic excellence coach is actually 10 times the value, at least 10 times the value of the investment, 10 times the value. Okay. Now I don't know any investment that can give you 10 plus. Maybe if you had bought shares of Tesla in the beginning, maybe you would have. But other than that, it's very hard to find something I'll give you 10 times what you paid for the investment. Okay. And so why do I say it's 10 times the value? Well, it's 10 times the value because you actually will learn what you're doing wrong. A lot of times students don't know what it is that they're doing wrong. They just think if they work hard enough, they'll be successful. But we have certain criteria that we show them, and they have to hit these criteria. And if they don't hit this criteria, then they're not going to get the result. And the fact that they can see the thing that's stopping them is huge for them, because I put it in here, the little quote, it says, you can't hit a target you can't see. So a lot of students, they just work harder and harder and harder, and they don't know what the thing is that's stopping them from being successful. So we have to actually help them see that these are the criteria they have to hit. And once they hit them, the results get better. Okay. So just knowing what you're doing wrong is worth the price of admission right there. Okay. Because then we can fix it. A lot of times our students get onto the Dean's List. So the Dean's List is fantastic because once you get on the Dean's List, you're now at a different level. So then when companies start looking for students to hire, and they can see that you have made that Dean's List, you have a much better chance of being selected for the job that you wanted. Only reason is because now you separated yourself from other students. And just being able to separate yourself from other students is worth probably in my opinion, probably worth it right there, like probably worth going to school. Because if everybody's going to school and only a few stand out, guess which companies, guess what happens to those people when companies are looking for people? They're naturally going to go to those people who are the top performers. Okay. And when you are a top performer, you get signing bonuses, your starting salary is quite high, you get promotions very quickly, all that kind of stuff. Okay. It also improves your confidence and your self-esteem. And the reason why is because we are addressing the root cause, which is the mindset of the person. Okay. So your confidence and your self-esteem also improve. You're using proven strategies that work. So you're saving time. So imagine if you have to repeat a semester. Imagine if you repeat a year. To repeat a year, you're spending about $10,000 to repeat 1 year. To repeat a semester, that's probably $5,000 minimum right there. Okay. But if you can get this stuff and you can fly through it and you don't have to repeat a semester, you don't have to repeat a year, guess what? You've made up that. You've like paid for your coaching right there. Okay. These skills that you're learning are for life. And so a lot of times our students, when they do well in their classes, the same ways of listening and learning and paying attention and, articulating themselves is the same thing that they do when they're working in their jobs. Okay. And that's why a lot of them perform very well in their careers and in their jobs. Okay. The job satisfaction is much higher. Why? Because they're picking and choosing from all the opportunities that they get, and they can pick what makes them happy and feel fulfilled. Another thing is their mental health is improved. And why has it improved? Is because we're dealing with the root. We're dealing with their mental health. We're dealing with their mindset. So we're helping them we're teaching them how to learn, think, interpret information, perceive things in a very different way than most people have ever been taught. And this has to do a lot with personal development and growth. So that's why we incorporate this into our coaching practice. And then their lifestyle is very fulfilled because they're doing things that make them feel happy and that they really enjoy in life. Okay. And the reason I'm saying this is because I can honestly say that I am doing that right now. I have a career that I love. I have clients that I love, I have students that I just can't wait to be around them because they're so high performing and they're so wanting to do better. And I just love talking to them. And then on top of that, I get the freedom to work the hours that I want. I get to work with the kind of people I want. And just overall, it's just such a pleasurable experience. I do work hard, but I don't feel burnt out as much as I probably would working for somebody else, because I know that I'm doing something that I really love and something I get to do to help people in life. Okay. So the value is probably more than 10 times, but just wanted to make it very clear to you that you're going to get way more than you ever would pay for any coaching. And to be honest with you, the only reason I'm here where I am today is because of the coaches that I had in the past. Okay, that's the only reason. And when somebody believes in you and somebody has faith in you and somebody can show you a path, to me, that's beyond any sort of income you'll ever make. That's priceless. Okay. It's just very hard to find people like that. Okay. So to me, it's also the most affordable way to get a 4.0. Okay. And the reason I say this is because if you hire a tutor, usually you're paying about $1,000 a course. So imagine if you have to pay $1,000 for all the courses you have to take at university. Okay. That'd be extremely expensive. But at this program, The Art of Being Smart, we actually teach you how to succeed in all your classes. And if you divide it, you're usually going to be paying around $250 per course, which is less than the price of a textbook, to be honest. Okay. And one course is, you take one course that's 4 months. Okay. Divide that by 4. It's very affordable. Okay. And the reason why it's much more affordable is because you're learning how to perform well in all your classes. Okay, that's the difference. A tutor is going to teach you how to do well in 1, 2, maybe 3 classes, maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. And I have nothing against tutors. I think tutors are fantastic people, but the academic coaching system is a bit different. And we teach you how to use this better so you can do better in all your classes. Okay, and then if you just divide it per course, it's $250. But then don't forget, you still get scholarships, and one scholarship can be probably $5,000 or so. You get bursaries, academic bursaries. You get signing bonuses. And sometimes people don't even have to pay for their education at all. Okay. And the reason for this is because they're performing so well academically. Okay. So really wanted to make this very clear to you and a lot of times, families and parents will say, well, it's too expensive. I can't afford it. And the reality is that it's actually probably one of the most affordable things you can do if you are interested in getting a 4.0 and if you're interested in being a top student at your school. Okay, that's very important that you understand. Okay, you want to have that vision of being the best at school, and then it becomes affordable. But if you're just, wanting just to get through and to pass and to just get any degree or whatever, then this is probably not the route you want to go. Okay. And it would be probably very expensive for you because then you can probably just get a tutor to help you with a few courses and then you'd be able to go. But this program is for the people who really want to just be at the top of their game and to be the best of the best. Okay. So important to make that distinction. All right. And I'm getting to know these people in this picture very well because they've been in all the 3 slides. Okay. And now who's this guy? So this is me. So what I would recommend you do is you set up a virtual coffee with me. Okay. A virtual coffee date with me. Okay. I probably won't wear that suit because that suit will be a little uncomfortable, but I'll be there and we can set up a time on Zoom and we can just chat. And to be honest with you, the only reason I wanted to have this chat with you is because you might be having some issues. You may not know what your problem is. You might be working very hard and you're not getting the help from teachers. You're not getting the help from parents. You're not getting help from friends, and you just don't know what to do. And you're burning out and you're just like, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. Well, I just want you to know that I'm here. Okay. So we can chat, we can talk. I'll give you more clarity. I'll explain to you what's happening. Okay. And I could show you, and I will show you another way to be successful. Okay. I will show you. And I'm not going to make a sales pitch. I will tell you what I do and I will tell you what I offer. But if you're not interested and you don't want to do that, that's fine. We'll still be friends and I'll still pay for your virtual coffee. Okay. But the reality is that you can actually change your life with new knowledge. Okay. So just having a free chat with me, or just having a free chat with somebody who has experience in an area that's important to you, and you're not paying anything for it. I mean, I would not even, that'd be a no-brainer. Just do that. Okay. And then if you have a conversation with me and something happens and you do better, well, you haven't paid anything for it. Okay. So I would recommend that you just book a free coffee date with me, and I put the link at the bottom here and you can just join in. And if you want, I can even put it into, I'll put it in even to the comments below if you want to do that. Okay. So 6 o'clock now, I'm just going to wind down. So here's a summary. Number one, the reason why you cannot afford not to work with an academic excellence coach, such as myself, is that you get unbelievable help and support, which you will never get at any school. Okay. Because teachers, professors, TAs, they're inundated with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students. Okay. I'm not. I just work with the ones that I know I can help, and they're few, but they're fantastic. Okay. So I can give you that help and support. We use a proven system. Okay. This proven system has not only helped me, but probably over 6,000 students to date. And it's going to save you time, energy, and frustration. You're going to get 10 times the value of your investment minimum. And proof is in the pudding. If you're interested, I can even give you emails of my past students and you can talk to them and you can see that they're doing a lot better. My life has completely changed by having a coach. I have my own business. I've got a 4.0 GPA. My confidence level is much higher than it used to be. I used to be very shy and very quiet. Didn't really have direction in life. And now my direction is much more clear. And I take more educated risks. And I'm more comfortable being out of my comfort zone. Okay. And all these things help with getting to where you want to go in life. And number 4 is that it's the most affordable way if you want to become a 4.0 GPA student. Okay. It's the most affordable way because not only are you paying less per course, you're learning information that literally I paid probably $10,000 to learn. Okay. And I work with like 4 or 5 coaches and I'm learning from them all the time. And you get that when you work with me. You get all my expertise, all my knowledge when you work with me. Okay. And so what I would do is I would work, when it says work with me, what I'm really trying to say is book a virtual tea with me or virtual coffee with me, or a virtual chai with me. And we'll just sit and we'll just talk. Okay. And we can just do it on Zoom. Okay. And then we just have a conversation for half an hour, and we'll see if I can help you, great. If not, then that's cool. But it'll just be good for me to get to know you and just know that there's a resource available to you if you need to. And I can also show you what I offer in my courses and my programs and how I've been able to help students get a 4.0 grade point average. Okay, so thank you very much. I think it's just after 6 o'clock. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to just see if there's any questions. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and let's see if there's any questions here. Let's see if I stop sharing. Yeah, I stopped sharing. Okay. Just on Facebook right now. Any questions? There's no one here on Zoom. I see a couple people on Facebook. Do you guys have any questions? No questions. Okay. I think we're all good. All right. So have a good day, everyone. And if you do have any questions later on, let me know and I can respond. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.